can always just not take jizz in your pussy? I mean, sorry, like, all you have to do is not let a guy come in your fucking pussy, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, no, you're totally right.
Yeah, I know I'm totally right.
It's almost like my mom was on birth control, they used a condom, and my dad only had one testicle.
And all she had to do was not let him jizz in her pussy.
They used all the proper things.
Like not jizzing in the pussy?
Oh, do we have a fun one today? Andrew Wilson has to destroy this rainbow-haired, crazy-looking fat feminist regarding, how apparently women don't have the same rights as men do in America, which is obviously a lie, BS, complete utter BS on its face, obviously, but Andrew Wilson has to school this bitch, and let's just get straight into it. Now, just for some context for you guys, originally, they obviously brought up abortion, but they moved past that one point, and now they're on to how it's so much harder for women to sterilize themselves than men. So there's the context. Let's hit it. Also, make sure you hit the like button.
Or you have to be married. You have to have at least 3 kids, give or take.
This is completely just factually untrue.
That's very true.
Is there a law? You'd have
it's
to
not law. It's not law.
It's not
So
law.
it's up to the doctor's individual.
If you go to a doctor.
So you're saying all doctors have this mandatory, you need to have had 3 children and you need to be married?
I'm just saying it's a very heavy bias.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not, that's why.
Fake news, but okay.
It's fake news. You want to tell the many women who were denied getting their tubes tied?
Sure.
You want to tell the many women
doctors
who got refused to get their uterus
What
taken out
she's
because of
saying is very true.
endometriosis?
It's a lot of private doctors that would do it.
Hold on, but
That's
you're
the
saying
issue.
you're
It's private.
you're putting forth. Stop.
Yeah.
You're putting forth like a position where you're saying essentially all these doctors, the requirement is the woman has to have had 3 children and be married.
Sometimes they even have to have the husband sign off on it too.
Yeah.
While perhaps it could be the case
My
that
godmom did.
there is anecdotal evidence that this has occurred, this certainly isn't widespread. And you would have to like pull these OBGYNs or whatever the doctor is that does this procedure. You'd have to like actually provide evidence that this is a widespread practice and like some sort of like, and I don't think the medical literature indicates that that's the requirement to get a hit.
You mean
said
the medical
hysterectomy?
literature that literally
tubes tied.
hasn't tested women's period products for actual blood until last year? You mean the same medical system that derived off of men and thought that women were mini men, even though they have completely different organs, different functions, different hormones?
To
You're
your
talking
point,
about the same medical
I'll address
system?
your hysterectomy thing.
Yeah, the same one.
It's not hysterectomy. That's
Yeah,
two different things.
cool.
Or what was it?
Yeah,
It
valid.
was
Tied.
tubes tied. Excuse me.
Is a choice. Hysterectomy is usually a medical thing that's
I
necessary.
misspoke. I meant
That's
getting
removing the-
I meant
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
your. I meant getting your tubes tied. So okay.
Actually, I'm happy to engage with this.
Yeah. So one of the differences that immediately comes to me is that it's a much more invasive procedure to get your tubes. It is to get your tubes tied. I don't know if you want to be another science denier. It is medically more invasive to get your tubes
science denier.
to get your tubes tied. Getting the what's it called? Sorry, I'm blanking on
So
it.
a voluntary procedure.
The vasectomy,
Yeah.
you're like in and out in 15 minutes.
You can also
Okay,
get
so that's a
reversed
privilege
most
that
of the
men
time.
have?
That's just kind of
Because
the
his point
nature.
is like they're making sure that you are set in it because vasectomy can most times be reversed, whereas getting your tubes tied can be reversed, but like if you get them cut or anything like that, it's a permanent decision. So his point is like the medical staff is just making sure that you are completely sure in your decision because it's a lot easier to get a vasectomy than it is to get your tubes tied.
Well,
Yes, both are still voluntary procedures, though. So
But,
why?
but let me give you.
I was just saying what he was
perhaps
saying.
Yeah, no,
a good
I appreciate
to
it.
piggyback off Kiko. She makes a good point. In spite of herself, she didn't even mean to make this point.
No, I know what I was
really
saying.
Good, even though it's really good. What does first do no harm mean?
Do no harm.
First do no harm. That's what every doctor operates under. The idea of first do no harm.
Yeah.
Let me give you the argument, and then you can respond. Okay? So my argument would just be this, that if that is the case, right, that you take in the Hippocratic Oath, which came from Hippocrates, right, and he says, hey, first, you should always do no harm. If it is the case that a doctor, let's say, was performing women getting their tubes tied at like 22, for these women, and then would see them at 27 going, I regret this. This is awful. This sucks. This is horrible. And he had that experience over and over and over and over and over. Doesn't it stand to reason that that same doctor would say, okay, this is doing harm?
Did that actually happen, though?
It does. Yes. Not only does it happen, but men are coached, too, when they get a vasectomy, especially if they go in young. You probably don't want to do this, and you should wait, and you should wait for an elongated period of time. But the difference is that men aren't going back to the doctor, right, and saying, please undo this. Women are going back to the doctor and saying, please undo this, or I have regrets, or it's caused.
Yeah, like this added restriction is to protect women. I used to think I never wanted kids, and now I have a daughter, and she's the biggest blessing of my life. Women don't know what they want, and this is a very big procedure that cannot be taken lightly, and doctors are trying to warn women about that, but of course, that's supposedly oppression now. Give me a freaking break. Make sure you subscribe, by the way, guys.
Causing me mental health issues, this and that. If it were the case that you're a doctor and this is being reported to you by most of your female patients who you do this on when they're young, and your oath is to not do any harm, at what point would you think you were doing harm?
Okay, well, what about the women that you're turning away from getting these procedures and they have severe endometriosis or ovarian cysts, or if they get pregnant, it can be detrimental?
Women aren't getting turned away for that.
Wait, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. So you're saying that these doctors who are continuously consulting with their female patients and checking on them and making sure that they're ready, couldn't we almost reverse this argument and say that this is actually evidence like, oh, the men, go ahead, sterilize yourself, but the doctors give a bit more care when it comes to the women?
Yeah.
You could say that it's care, but oftentimes I believe it causes more harm. My friend's mom had endometriosis and got pregnant in a very dangerous time to get pregnant, and luckily everything was fine. But if something bad had happened, she wasn't able to get hysterectomy until after.
We're moving off the topic here. The topic originally was about it was about
reproductive rights, yes.
Rights. And then we were talking about abortion, and then it came into this kind of more niche thing.
Yeah.
I have to bring it back to how is women's lack of access to abortion, I suppose in some states, evidence of an inequality between men and women?
Because it's blatantly refusing their right to bodily autonomy.
Ah, I see. Bodily autonomy?
I swear, if you bring up the bodily autonomy to a fetus, we will have a very long discussion.
I'm not going to.
Cool.
I'm not. I'm just going to bring up the. I'm just going to bring up the draft.
The draft?
Yeah. What about the bodily autonomy of men when it comes to being drafted?
I never said I agreed with the draft.
Yeah, maybe not, right? But whether you do or you don't, wouldn't that be a case of men being oppressed and women not being?
I mean, yeah, but who created that system?
Why would that matter?
Because you're men, you put yourself in that position. It's not like us women all voted for you to go to war.
Or a queen.
You voted for yourselves to do that.
Let's say it was a king or a queen who invented that system yesterday. What would that have to do with the fact that right now, today, me and Brian can't do anything about that?
Wait.
So, and hang on, since we can't do anything about that, aren't we oppressed by that system?
In the super hypothetical scenario of a king or queen
like right now, right this second.
No, we don't have a king or a queen here.
We don't need a king or a queen. Right this second, I can be drafted, you can't, yeah?
Depends. How old are you?
Right now I'm 40.
I don't think you would be drafted.
Yes. In fact, the draft can be accelerated up to 70, like it is in the Ukraine and in Russia right this second. Okay. Or it can be decreased to 13, 14, like it has been in World War I. So the question is, wasn't there
talk about making the draft for females too?
Yes, but interestingly enough, that's nice that you're talking about it.
Yeah.
But it's not the case. So if it's not the case, you say you don't have any bodily autonomy, but neither do I.
Do you have to grow another person inside of you? And then
I'm sorry. Do you have to go die in a war?
No, I don't have to, but I can choose to.
Great. But you can be. But I can be drafted. You can't.
You could always break your leg too.
Yeah, I know. You can always just not take jizz in your pussy. I mean, sorry. Like, all you have to do is not let a guy come in your fucking pussy, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, no, you're totally right.
You're totally, yeah, I know I'm totally
it's almost
right.
like my mom was on birth control. They used a condom, and my dad only had one testicle.
And all she had to do is not let him jizz in her pussy.
They used all the proper things.
Like not jizzing in the pussy? I promise you that what happened in this case is your dad came inside your mom, 100%.
Came inside of a condom that also happened to be inside
and
my mom.
came inside your mom?
Inside of a condom.
So came inside your mom.
Inside of a condom.
So wait, I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure that I got this. I just want to make sure I got this right.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Excuse you. You're not speaking.
I am speaking.
So
though.
your
You
dad,
asked me,
your dad. Listen, you green-haired freak. Your dad came inside your mom, right? Your dad came inside your mom. Answer the question.
Rachel, she did nothing wrong.
Holy crap. I think that's enough lunacy I can take for today's video. As always, please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Obviously, she's a retarded, delusional feminist. What's new? You could tell that even before she opened her wannabe whore, but she's too ugly to be a whore's mouth. Anyways, if you made it to the end of the video, please comment an orange heart. It does help boost the video in the algorithm, and I would greatly appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a great day.